Good morning and welcome to my cowpea patch. So I've tried growing cowpeas several years now, and this is the first time that they're doing something. They're not looking too great. This summer has been a little bit trying for all of us, I believe, including the cowpeas. But they are growing and they have produced pods. I'm so excited about this. So cowpeas are also black-eyed peas, Vigna unguiculata, or some amazingly long Latin name like that. And they are the same thing as what you can find with those Asian yard long beans. So the reason why I am growing them is there are several medieval recipes that call for fresh Faxiola or Faxiolas. Anyway, and they're recipes that are written pre-1500s, and so you know specifically that with that they are talking about the cowpea or the black-eyed pea, since New World beans didn't make it over until post-1500s. So I was curious to try. This is Faxiolli, which is a modern cultivar specifically bred for short season areas like where I live. This is an Italian heirloom variety called Dolicio de Veneto, and a lot of the recipes that I'm looking at for cowpeas are Italian based. And then over here, this is kind of the standard US California black-eyed pea. And so there is a very distinct difference in the seed shape between the California, or the ones that we grow here in the US, brought over from Africa in the 1500s, and then the Italian types here, which is maybe a little bit more medievally when we're replicating medieval recipes. And if you look down here, you can see that these peas here, this is from that Italian heirloom, are super tiny, right? Very minuscule. And so with that, I was curious if the taste was any different. You can usually find, they're so tiny the camera doesn't want to focus on them. Anyway, so you can usually find these Italian, or the smaller peas, in the bulk food section sometimes of your more like organic co-op-y kind of stores. But for the most part, in the grocery stores in the US, you're going to find these larger black-eyed peas that are grown in more mass production. So I'm just curious if they taste different. So taste test time. The recipes that are in those Italian medieval texts can call for either the fresh green pod like this, or peeling them out and harvesting the fresh peas that are inside, or also, you know, kind of our standard practice now is using the dried beans. So I was curious, what do these green Faxiola taste like? This one's too old to eat as a pod. It definitely has a string. This is that California type, but I'm gonna squeeze out a bean. Oh, it tastes like a bean. It's fresh, but it doesn't have kind of that darker kick. I think they're a little bit sweeter than some of your garden green beans. So, interesting. Then this is that Italian heirloom type. It's a little bit smaller. So that's really fun. Nice, delicate, no fibrous action going on. That might be because it's a little bit younger. Really nice and sweet. I could totally see chopping this up and eating it as a salad. Yeah. Thank you. And then otherwise, we have our Faxiolli, the one that's been bred here for Oregon. This is really sweet. That's really fun. Good texture again, not the stringiness of it all. A little bit of a darker aftertaste to it. Let's see if I can get one of these beans out. Yeah, they're really nice. They almost taste like when you eat or you cook black-eyed peas, to the point where they like to kind of start to caramelize a little bit with that really nice sweet high note. So this is very cool. I like it. I need to go get some yard-long noodle beans from the grocery store and compare them to see if that would be an awesome substitute, because these do taste different than the standard green beans that you buy at the store. This has a delicate, sweeter, darker flavor. I don't know once you start cooking it and mix it in with some other things if you'd really be able to tell the difference to it, but eating it solo, the green black-eyed peas do taste very different than our modern green beans that we can buy. That's really cool. Almost like a lemony flavor. And so just some quick botany highlights. You can see that it really has the standard Fabaceae flower type with the keel here at the bottom and that beautiful banner, although this one has been a bit chewed up by bugs, so it's not as full as it could be. What I really enjoy too is the growing points here at the base, how it has like this stem, it codes to me as arachis from grasses, but anyway, with all these different growing points. And they just keep going up, and you think that it's dying and slowing down, but then it just produces another one. And then it really gives that fun kind of fireworky, pendulous pod aspect that you see predicted so clearly in the Tacunus Sanctalis, the Medieval Health Handbook. So that is really fun. And again, your trilobe leaf, which is another key indicator of your Fabaceae. So cowpeas, they're pretty darn cool. I don't know why I'm having trouble growing them. They're supposed to be pretty easy to grow. But so I encourage you to give it a whirl, add them to your garden. They're really nice drought tolerant plants, which is a handy thing to have these days, especially with these heat waves coming through the Pacific Northwest. So anyway, I hope you're having fun. I hope you stay hydrated, and I hope you get some dirt into your fingernails, and I hope you try cowpeas. Quick little PS, on my way out of the bean patch, I went ahead and pulled a smaller one of the California black-eyed peas to give it a whirl. And whereas the pod is more tender and doesn't have quite so much strings to it, it's still not nearly as tasty as the Italian types. So if you are going to grow these for your Italian Faxiolli medieval recipes, I really encourage you to look for the Italian types and not the California black-eyed pea types, or just the standard US black-eyed pea ones. So, all right.